Good evening, this is your AI host, Jay. I'm here with the automatically generated, Journato, evening headlines on December 22, 2022. Symbols of Ukraine war cast shadow over Russia's festive celebrations. COVID in China. Half of Shanghai's population of 25 million could be infected by end of next week. Sky News. Shanghai hospital warns of tragic battle as COVID cases surge across China. CNA. China's hospitals brace for tragic battle as WHO cites worry over official COVID data. The Independent. China COVID surge. Half of Shanghai's population expected to contract disease, warns hospital. Euronews. COVID surge rampages through Shanghai virtually unchecked. The British Sign Language project stretching back 2,000 years. It's time to stop pretending what's happening in Ukraine is anything other than a US proxy war. The Independent. What impact will further Western arms in Ukraine have? Inside story. Al Jazeera English. Ukraine war. Putin has been weaponizing energy for years. Here's what to look out for next. The Conversation. No one would win a long war in Ukraine. Foreign Affairs magazine. What effect will further Western arms in Ukraine have? 60 years on from the Cuban Missile Crisis, the US has learned its lessons, but Putin has not. Flights cancelled as winter storm and cold sweeps the US. BBC. US winter storm to bring coldest Christmas in decades as temperatures plummet to -45 C. The Mirror. US braces for blast of cold with wind chills less than -40 C in parts. ITV News. Temperatures fall far and fast as winter storm threatens US. Russia-Ukraine war. Top official Rogozin wounded in Ukrainian shelling. BBC. Former Russian deputy prime minister injured in shelling in occupied Ukraine, reports. Evening Standard. Former Russian space chief wounded by blast while celebrating birthday near Ukraine front line. The Telegraph. Former Russian space chief wounded in Ukraine shelling. The Moscow Times. Russia's former space chief injured in eastern Ukraine. Tucker Carlson says Zelensky dressed like manager of strip club and should have been thrown out of Congress. New Zealand. Jacinda Ardern offensive MP comment transcript sells for NZ $100,000. BBC. Jacinda Ardern's hot mic moment immortalized in charity auction. France 24 English. France 24 English. Jacinda Ardern's arrogant prick comment nets more than $100,000 at charity auction. The Guardian. Jacinda Ardern's arrogant PK comment nets more than $100,000 at charity auction. The Independent. New Zealand PM's faux pas in Parliament raises $63,000 for charity. Mario Sandoval, notorious Argentine torturer jailed. Glass barriers keep St. Mark's Basilica dry during Venice floods. The Guardian. New glass barriers help Venice fight flooding. Charles Sobhraj, French killer the Serpent set to be freed from Nepal jail. Sky News. Serial killer the Serpent, Charles Sobhraj, to be freed from Nepal jail. BBC. French serial killer Charles the Serpent Sobhraj to be freed from Nepalese jail. France 24. France 24 English. Bikini killer, released from Nepal prison after 19 years. The Independent. Serial killer the Serpent who inspired TV series to be freed from Nepal jail. Arizona-Mexico border. Container wall to be dismantled. BBC. Arizona to remove makeshift border wall as part of a lawsuit, court filing says. CNN. Facing federal suit, Arizona will remove border shipping containers. The Hill. Intercepted. Arizona residents shut down Governor Ducey's illegal wall. The Intercept. Arizona agrees to dismantle border wall made from cargo containers. Ukraine-Russia news. Live. Putin's only aircraft carrier Admiral Kuznetsov catches fire. The Independent. Russia-Ukraine war live. Wagner Group accused of using North Korean weapons. Russian aircraft carrier catches fire. The Guardian. Russia's only aircraft carrier Admiral Kuznetsov catches fire. The Telegraph. Russian aircraft carrier Admiral Kuznetsov starts to leave dry dock. Local sources claim a minor fire on board. Naval news. Russia's sole aircraft carrier catches fire. Russia supporting Wagner Group mercenary numbers soar. BBC. Wagner boss. Women should also get early jail release to fight in Ukraine. The Moscow Times, noted Crimean activist Afanasyev dies fighting Russian troops in Ukraine. Radio Free Europe, Radio Liberty, Navalny, mercenary boss visited his jail to recruit for Ukraine war. Reuters, Putin is planning to deploy female prison inmates in Ukraine, says close friend. China changes definition of COVID deaths as cases surge. The Guardian, COVID, too early to declare end of pandemic amid fears of devastating wave in China, experts warn. Sky News, WHO, very concerned, at COVID surge in China as cases soar, but Beijing claims no new deaths. The Independent, China is on the brink of its first major COVID surge. How it copes will affect us all. The Guardian, China's COVID tsunami could spark a dangerous new variant that infects the world. Zelensky's address to US Congress comes 81 years after Churchill did the same. BBC, Zelensky tells US Congress Ukraine is alive and kicking despite Russian tyranny. Guardian News, Ukraine war, Zelensky urges US to help it defeat Russia. BBC, President Zelensky is the greatest champion of his country's freedom. The Telegraph, opinion, Zelensky's visit highlights that freedom is winning in Ukraine, for now. This was all for the news. Thanks for listening. Please do not forget to like and subscribe.